Some quick royal news as a bit of a roundup to let you know exactly what I found out for you as you see these headlines that spark a lot of, some might say, controversy around the world. Now, the first up is this, of course, His Majesty the King. Now, as I've said to you many times before here on the show, I think King Charles has done a terrific job this year, given the fact at the start of the year, well, possibly at the end of last year, really, that he had the terrible news that he was suffering from a form of cancer. And he was very quick to come out, of course, and basically deflect any of the worry that might really upset so many people literally around the world. I thought it was very brave of him, in fact. And of course, as a man of his years, it was kind of the thing, he's of a generation where he wouldn't necessarily want to share those health issues. But hats off, he did, and he did a lot to help other people go and get checked as well, the sort of story. This particular headline does in fact come from someone who knows him incredibly well, and of course a good friend of mine, Tom Parker Bowles, and it's all about how His Majesty the King is giving up red meat. Well, let me tell you the true story behind that. He's not totally giving it up, but that's the thing. What you do when you're going through all of those, sort of health scares, and I know many people have all had them, we all go through them, don't we? You reevaluate your diet, and you kind of think, well, what should I have, what shouldn't I have? Now, I don't know if you know this, but His Majesty the King, for the very first time in his life, apparently now has a bit of a light lunch, half an avocado. I know. What happens to the other half? That's what I want to know. I'd throw a few prawns in, wouldn't you? Mary Rose sauce, delicious. But apparently he never really liked to eat lunch because he found that it slowed him down and he felt a little bit more lethargic, just really stopping for a cup of tea and a couple of bickies or something like that. But the bottom line is not to worry, truly. What he's trying to do is work out what's best for him, so he's changing a lot of his diet, and that's the reason why you're seeing a bit of weight loss, and that's what I've been told from an excellent source inside the palace. Always good to clear that up though, right? Now, this particular moment might be very dramatic for some people over in the land of Montecito. I kid you not. Can you imagine when this now comes out? Literally, we have, of course, His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, Prince William, going over to represent the government and, of course, the royal family at the official reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral. A marvellous place if you've ever had the opportunity to go inside, but now it looks even more terrific because it's got a lot more light, but the history is incredible when you go in a place like that. Interested in religion, you'll know exactly what's inside and all the artifacts related to that fascinating place, let me tell you. But also attending will be none other than the incoming 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. And apparently he's keen to re-meet with Prince William for an informal chat. Now, as I've told you before, this will not be going down well, of course, with Meghan and Harry in Montecito. We know that Meghan doesn't like President Trump, and Prince Harry's really going to have to mind his P's and Q's as he looks towards the future to see whether Mr. Trump may just be tempted to open that also sealed envelope about Harry's visa application. It's a funny thing, isn't it, when you think, because there's Prince William literally going along on behalf, of course, of us to represent us, not because it's a reality TV show or a fake quasi-royal tour. And this is literally on the back, of course, the day after of course, the wonderful carol concert put together by his wife, Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Now, I don't know if you saw this particular card. I just think it's marvellous. This is the front picture of the order of service for the carol concert. And the sentiment is wonderful, isn't it? It's, I got through simply because you were there with me. A lovely, lovely sentiment. And I'm told, at the time of recording of this, that the whole service is all about togetherness and actually forgiveness. Now, many people are citing the fact that, is this a new Catherine? Will she be forgiving and, of course, moving on from the Harry and Meghan debacle? Well, there's only so much you can ask a girl, right? All I ask is that, of course, Catherine remains healthy and, of course, looks to the future as she has done with a lot of zest. And for everybody out there going through the same thing, lots of love, prayers and good wishes. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.